make it this month. I'm being a little pessimistic at the moment myself. That's my opinion.
You're just pissing me off.
What are you getting your panties in the water about?
Well, y'all keep sitting here going,
Y'all?
we ain't racing.
No,
We're
listen,
gonna rain
no.
out.
It was
And I'm
my
like,
opinion.
come on.
We've lived in Oregon long enough to understand
I
what's
have too.
going on. Okay,
I'm being positive here. We're going racing
All right.
because I need a little dirt in my hair.
we'll take a vote on that in a minute.
I'll
Sunset
sit here and be
Speedway.
a realist.
Sunset Speedway. Now, this is the thing. Sunset Speedway is scheduled with the Bobby Morley Memorial.
Oh, that's right.
IMCA mods, sport mods, street stocks, Northwest Dwarf cars, and 4Bs.
And who?
4Bs. They're
Hornets.
4-cylinders.
Oh,
Hornets.
They call them Forbies.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
So, listen, and Joel, pay attention.
I'm listening.
Okay. That being said, we just talked about Grove, Willamette, and Sunset. Let me tell you the weather report for each of these tracks.
All right, I'm listening.
Pay attention. Cottage Grove, I will tell you right now, probably has the best chance of racing anywhere up and down the I-5 corridor this week. Their weather report looks like this. Today, 53 and 41 with a 50% chance of rain.
And it's poured down at times.
Yes.
I live in Lebanon. It's poured over there today.
Tomorrow, high of 54, low of 39, 50% chance of rain. Friday, 59 for the high, 37 for the low, partly cloudy. No rain in the forecast for Friday. Saturday, 67 degrees, low of 45, mostly sunny. That's Cottage Grove. Remember that. Willamette Speedway. Today, 55 with a 41 low, 40% chance of rain.
Yeah, it rained.
Yep, it rained big time today.
Tomorrow, 56 for the high, 37 for the low, 70% chance of rain.
No, that's okay.
It's going to rain a lot.
That's fine.
Friday, 59, 31, and 10%.
Green flag.
Saturday, 66, 46, 10%.
Green flag.
Well, I got to tell you, it's sunny outside right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at Warren. He looks like he's been in a tanning bed.
See, here's the
GE Beach, buddy.
Here's the thing, though, and we've talked about it multiple times already up to this point. It's not about Saturday. It's about Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and what that weather does. It affected us last week. We could have raced last week if we had weather like we did all day Saturday.
Yeah. So?
Okay. Sunset. 55 and 41 today, 50% chance of rain. Tomorrow, 56 and 38, 70%. Friday, 60 and 36, partly cloudy. Saturday, 65 and 45, mostly sunny.
Pretty much the same as Lebanon. Real close.
Close.
Here's the difference between Lebanon and Sunset, though. We've already talked to Nikki Gamble, and we know that it's a
Very, very wet down there, up there in Sunset.
it's like a wetland out there in the parking lot.
And how is that different from Willamette right now?
You got farmers down here. You got city slickers up there. You got mug boots
That
and
doesn't
four-wheel
have
drive
anything
trucks.
to do
You
with
got-
what falls out of the sky.
Okay, let's make sure the house doesn't land on the witch of the Wicked West.
I don't know what that means. Anyway, I'm saying, we're praying. We're praying it's going to be good. But this is April. This is the Willamette Valley.
My optimism has already been shot down twice. I'm starting to become a pessimist.
I'll tell you right now.
You're a pessimist. He's mad, and I'm looking at things for what they are. We're going.
Oh, you're going to be the realist now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm being Mr. Positivity over here, even though I just got a text message in from one of our drivers saying, I'll bet you Cottage Grove is going to be the only one running this week.
I won't argue with that.
I wouldn't argue that either.
But you know what I'm saying to both y'all, or all y'all?
What is this
what's
y'all
this
stuff? You just went to Washington last week. You didn't go to Georgia.
It's the boots. Been wearing them too long.
The rubber boots.
No, I haven't been in the sheep field.
Those are galoshes. So, are you going to go to Grove and watch the races?
No, because I'm going to go to Willamette. We're going to race.
Alrighty.
We may have another Mansfield on our hands.
We may.
Don't do it.
I ain't going to be dumb.
Listen, I hope we race. I want to get out there. I want to get these guys going. I
me
want to get
too.
the season started.
So does everybody else.
Dude, everybody's got cabin fever.
Big time.
Do you know how many of these modified guys I know that are sitting there and they've got their trailer loaded and their car loaded and they've got their gear bags sitting right by the door going, let's go.
Been ready for 3 weeks.
Yep. We're going racing.
All right.
I hope you're right.
I do too.
I really, really hope you're right.
And Tim Archer says, Tim, I appreciate your comment there. We're going racing.
Right on, Tim.
See, Tim and I are on the same page. You guys, I don't know what y'all are smoking, but you need to just knock it off.
So here's the thing.
Drug test.
Tim Archer.
Hello, Tim.
This is a man of faith. It's a man that's close with the Lord.
Yeah.
If he says we're racing, we might be racing. I hope he's right.
I do too.
I'll guarantee you that man's praying right now to say, come on, Lord.
Give me some sunshine.
Just give us some shine. Let the clouds part. Let the sun shine down. You know he's saying it.
Give us some sunshine on y'all.
There you go, Warren. Now you're talking like a positive individual.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it is.
So I really want to get into...
Oh, this is going to be good.
Well, here's the thing. Our last... we're at the 1 hour mark, just over the 1 hour mark. And I think our next two topics we can fill the entire show with. Okay? And this is something that Warren is... And I want to spend some time on this.
I do, too.
Because it is something that... I mean, it is... We've done enough joking. I mean... It's serious business. We're talking about the drug policies. And Warren, you've done a lot of research on this. You've got a stack of papers printed out in front of you.
Yeah.
You've got stuff highlighted. I know you spent a lot of time during the week putting this together. I want you to lead us in this next segment and talking about what you found in your research.
Well, what I did was I went to the World Racing Group and got their substance abuse policy terms and conditions. And I imagine this is... I know it covers the World of Outlaws in the wing cars, the late models,
and the dirt car association,
and the dirt late models. Right. So, what I deduced out of this is the World Racing Group, herein after WRG, for sake I don't have to say that all the time, is dedicated and committed to making the racing series safe for both competitors and spectators. That's bottom line of the whole thing right there, is making it safe for everybody. All right. It goes on to say, WRG shall appoint a third-party organization to help oversee the policy and its procedures, including but not limited to test scheduling, participant selection of testing, on-site specimen collection, and results management. Now this is kind of key. All members, drivers, mechanics, crew members, officials, workers, and others participating in WRG events in any way agree to be bound by and to comply with the policy terms and conditions at all events at all times.
Meaning random drug tests.
Random drug testing, not just for the drivers.
Right.
For the crews, for the track workers, crew members, mechanics, everybody.
Okay.
Everybody that's participating in that event. So I guess the only people that would be excluded would be the people in the grandstands.
Okay. I
guess you can go there and be as high as you want. But just add a little there. But yeah, so I didn't realize that when we talked about it last week, that everybody, absolutely everybody participating is going to be held accountable for drug testing. I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's a good deal.
I like it.
I do too.
I'm not going to argue that. That's.
I like it too. I think it's. I don't know. There's so many. You can go so many different directions on this. Bottom line is everybody's playing by the same rules. Like you talked about the tire doping earlier. If you want to do it, you're going to be held accountable. If you get called, if your number gets called, and you test positive, you're going to be penalized, fined, and what's up?
Go ahead.
Okay.
You're good.
And suspended, possibly. So there's consequences. So it goes on to say prohibited substances.
Do they give a list of substances?
I think later on in here it does a little bit, but substances include but are not limited to illegal drugs and the paraphernalia associated with the use of illegal drugs. WRG reserves a right in its sole discretion to make the determination with regard to the prohibition of any substance at any time. Participants shall not use, possess, purchase, sell, manufacture, or participate in the distribution of prohibited substances in any amount at any time.
Okay.
So this doesn't just apply at the racetrack. This is your conduct 100%.
Sure.
When you sign up for this series, your conduct needs to be in the best standards.
In a role model manner.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
I mean, that's
Well,
what this is.
And I think that we can see part of that due to Tyler, the sprint car kid that freaked out one of the high-speed chase, had the cops chasing him.
Oh, yeah.
What was it?
I can't think of his last name either.
Great talent behind the wheel.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But you know what I'm talking about.
I do, yeah.
Tyler Walker.
Yep, there
Tyler
you go.
Walker. I
There
mean,
you
a
go.
huge talent, and it was his own worst enemy. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Warren, go ahead.
No, that's fine. I'm looking for a little interjection here. Because
Well, I think that's why when they say it any time, that's probably a precursor to that verbiage right there.
Yeah, carry yourself in a manner because you're representing WGO and or WRG
Exactly.
or the Woo
Right.
World of Outlaws.
Yeah, and remember, I mean, the other thing too we got to think of is, you know, you guys said it on the last show, I believe it was Warren. You know, when you guys had Joey Tanner on, even at our level of racing, when you're a driver, when you're a crewman, when you're a staff member at the facility, you are looked up to by kids.
Oh, absolutely.
You have a fan base. You have followers. Those people, you need to do them right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's
it's
great.
part of the responsibility of being a team, if you will.
Exactly.
I think. And you see those kids light up when Corey goes down and interviews them in front of the stands and stuff and plays around with them, you know, for drawings and whatnot. And those kids are, man, racing's their world. And for somebody to set an example with a positive drug test is not a good idea.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And that's on the individuals to maintain that level of standard of conduct.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so drugs are bad news. That's bottom line, and shouldn't be tolerated, in my opinion. I agree with what they're doing here.
I do too.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff highlighted here. Let's.
Yeah, this is the first page. There's only 9.
It was only 9 pages, but well, not everything's highlighted.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
first page is
he
pretty-
highlighted some key points in here.
Yeah.
We're going to
Yeah.
talk about those as he goes through it.
So this next section talks about prescription and over-the-counter medications. Participants shall use prescription and over-the-counter medications responsibly, and participants should be fully informed as to the medication's potential impact and effect on participation at WRG events. Participants should not use prescription or over-the-counter medications during an event. If such use impairs or diminishes their skills or abilities, or if it affects the participant's safety and the safety of others. Even when properly used, prescriptions and over-the-counter medications can be dangerous and result in an unsafe environment, particularly during high-speed motorsports activities.
Which is a point that Lauren Cruzy brought up in the last show, because we were talking mostly about cannabis and the use of it recreationally and medically. Mm-hmm. And Lauren interjected, well, wait a second. What about these guys that got prescription medications for oxycodone and OxyContin and this and that? And at that point, I mean, it wasn't the major focus I had, given the situation we read about Justin Ratliff making assumptions, which is never good. But I had just assumed that was probably what was over, was probably a cannabis issue, being that he lives in Kentucky, where it is legal. Okay. But when Lauren brought that up, I thought, that's a really valid point. And right there, they're telling you, prescription, doctor prescribed or not, you're going to fail. If you
not necessarily. You're going to fail if you use it irresponsibly.
Right.
You're allowed to use your prescribed medications,
right, but
as long as it doesn't impair your abilities.
Right. So, but what happens if a guy goes out there, gets in a wreck, and they said, hey, wait a second, test him, and he popped 2 prescription pain pills before he got in the car and comes up dirty? This is where we were talking about.
Yeah.
This is what Lauren brought up. Hey, that's irresponsible. And it absolutely is. I don't care how much pain you're in, do what Rob Maya did. Give your seat up to another driver and go out and run your car.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
That's a perfect example of what we're talking about. And Lauren brought that up, and it wasn't my main line of thought on this situation. But when he brought it up, I said, man,
great point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're making it right there.
And it goes right back to what we talked about earlier with the safety requirements and the expense.
And I wonder, does it say they have to report that they're using
I don't think it says you have to report that, but I'm gonna make an assumption or state